Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I've decided to paint orchids. I hope you enjoy the video. Give me a thumbs up if you do. And I'm using water mixable oils. I should remember to tell you that. And let's get going. Here's my palette for this painting of orchids. I have Phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, sap green, phthalo green, cad yellow light, raw sienna, raw umber, alizarin crimson, and titanium white. So the first thing I do is put in my background using phthalo blue, a little sap green, and maybe titanium white. So now I'm going to soften it with this kabuki brush, I think it's called, which I got from the dollar store for $1, obviously. And it just gives me a nice smooth surface, a blended surface. So now I'm just putting in an outline of the pot, the leaves, the stem, and I think that's it. The buds maybe I'll put in to give me an idea of where everything's going to go. And I'm using a mixture of sap green and cad yellow light for this. Okay, so now I'm going to put in my orchids. Think of it as my mid-tone. At this point, it's just a rough sketch. Nothing is permanent at this point. Anything can be changed. At the center of the orchid is this little cut or lip. And this will be strengthened as I go on. Right now it's quite faint, but I'll be putting in stronger color, lights and darks, shading, and that will make a stronger flower. I'm just going to fill in these shapes. I'm using sap green, maybe a little phthalo got in there because my palette's quite messy. I'm not even showing it to you today. In my head, the light is coming from the left of the picture, and so the stems on the right hand, the leaves on the right hand side, and where they are hidden by flowers will be much darker. This is just my mid-tone. I think the pot's going to be pink. I'm putting it in for now. I might change my mind later. But I'd like something different from the regular terracotta pot. I do so many of those. Okay, I'm going to work on my leaves and put in some lights. I'm using sap green and cad yellow light just to put in the bright side of the leaves, and I'll go even lighter later on. I'm going to put in some darks maybe too. Only the middle of this leaf catches the light, so I'm just putting a band of paler green across the middle. I'm going to use raw sienna to put in the very center of the orchid. It varies orchid to orchid. I mean, they have all kinds of centers, but I've chosen something very simple because it's easier to paint. I'm putting in some dark pinks on the shadow side of the buds, and put some on the petals too. I like to work on my painting as a whole. I don't overdevelop one part. I like to keep it all in balance if I can. I've decided I'm definitely going with the pink pot. I think it will look very nice, and it will be a change from painting another terracotta pot. I'm putting some brighter pinks on the buds and starting to develop um, more lights and darks on my painting. I'll get even lighter as I go on. I'm putting on more lights and I'm using a 1/4 inch flat to do this. I'm going around now at this stage, just reinforcing things, adding lights where I need, adding darks where I need, just, as I say, reinforcing the painting. I'm going to add a little more to the very center, the heart of the orchid. I'm sort of defining that center part, I can't remember what it's called, with, it almost looks like 2 little petals and a lip. I'm also using alizarin to deepen the shadow at the center of the flower. As I said, at this point I'm adding lights and darks wherever I think I need them. Okay, so now I'm getting serious with the light on the petals. I'm using straight titanium and a 1/4 inch flat brush to bring in the light to the lightest side of the petals. I'll only add it on those petals that are hit directly by the light. So I'm going to put in a tiny dab of cad yellow light on top of the raw sienna patch that I put in earlier. It might be called the stamens. I'm not totally sure about that. You have to Google it. On either side of that is a little petal type thing that I'm putting in titanium white. It just gives a nice center to the flower. I'm adding a dab of titanium to the buds as well. Titanium white, I should say. And while I've got some white on my brush, I'm going to put some of that on the pot, just to give it a bright spot. I'm going to add more light to my leaves. I feel they need a much brighter side to them. I feel like adding a brighter color to the pot as well. It's a bit bland. That looks better. I think the dark side of the leaves could use punching up a little bit. I'm going to use Phthalo Blue. And while we're at it, we'll reinforce the stem as well. I think that does the trick. I think that looks pretty good actually. I find that the whites dull down. I don't know why, so I have to keep reinforcing those as I go along. I really quite like this painting, and so I think I'll make a print of it, and it will be available as a print and cards on my Carol Ann's Art site on eBay. someone's getting their yard worked on, so I hope you can hear what I have to say. But I've decided to darken these leaves even more. Orchid leaves are very thick and leathery, and there's my dog snoring as well. Um, so I really want to make sure that that's how you see them, and it's the lights and shadows that do that, so it's really important to get that right. Okay, so I've decided to add a little spot of phthalo blue mixed with titanium, a little lighter blue here and there. I'm just messing around really. And I think really that's it for painting orchids. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.